Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing, and in today's video, I want to talk about finding clients through content marketing and share more of my experience. And I'm trying to do more of these lives. I did one yesterday and it was a lot of fun. So I'm trying to strengthen that muscle a little bit more and go live. And if anybody joins, then go ahead and you can just ask questions in the chat. I'll try to answer those questions, but I'm going to try to do this more like some of my other videos and just talk about finding clients through content marketing. So, when it comes to content marketing, that's how I view it. I view content marketing as a solution to finding new clients. And the way that it works is I put out all these videos, and over time, I've been able to build a lot of trust and grow an audience on YouTube. And people have found me through my YouTube videos, and they have worked with me in some capacity. So that has looks like a couple of different things. People have purchased my course who have found me through YouTube. So I have over 230 students who have purchased my course. So they have all found me through YouTube. And then I have had a few website consultations. So I help people, if they have a specific problem that they need help with, then I help people with that as well. And so that's another way that people have worked with me through my YouTube content. So that's another way that I've been able to find clients. And then another way is I've had people who have wanted me to build their website directly. So I've had a few of those people who have found me through YouTube videos, but that has taken quite a bit of time to develop that relationship and to build the audience and to build enough trust for that to happen. So I've been creating content for over 2 years. And I would say that just in this past year, it started to uh, I'm really starting to see the fruits of all of that labor and all of that time that I put into creating the videos. I wasn't really finding clients through the content at first. So if you take that first year or the first 6 months, it was really slow. I was getting a couple of views here and a couple of views there, like one subscriber here and one subscriber there. And so over time, I've been able to find clients through content marketing, but it didn't start out that way. It didn't start out with me, finding all these clients from the beginning. And so one of the things that I do is I like to share that you can grow your business through content marketing because you can. And I've seen it happen that over time you can grow your business creating content. But I think there's a step that I've been missing when I talk about this that should be pointed out. And I want to clarify this because it's something that I keep coming back to and it's a critical step. So if you are trying to find clients and you need to find clients quickly, like let's say you have no clients at all, you have no customers. If you're trying to find clients quickly, I think outreach is the best strategy, starting with friends and family, your existing network, and sharing what you do and outreaching to those people that you know. And that can be one of the best ways to find clients. And that's actually how I found clients at first at KDC Marketing. And it's still how I find clients today. A lot of it comes from my network, my friends, my family, people I know, and they find out what I do, and then there's kind of that logical next step. And so, if you need to find clients quickly, content marketing isn't the answer. Content marketing takes a lot of time to work. Now, I think that it's one of the best methods over time because you get rewarded for your efforts. It's an investment up front, but you get rewarded for your efforts in the long term, but it does take time. So if you need to find clients quickly, then outreach is the best thing. And what that looks like for me is like a phone call or a text message to a friend, or I've even messaged people on Facebook. I had a friend that became one of my clients and I saw the website that he had put out and it was obvious that they needed a little bit of help. And so I just reached out and said, "Hey, I saw your website and would love to help you with it if you guys need help." And he said, "Yeah, perfect timing. Perfect timing. We absolutely need help." And so it's interesting because sometimes it's one of those things that is kind of scary. You don't know if you're like going to be bugging somebody or kind of coming off as pushy or something. But in that case, they needed help. I could tell they needed help, and I reached out, and they ended up, you know, hiring me to fix their website. And I've been working with that client for a long time. So that's one of the best ways to find clients quickly. It only takes a matter of seconds. And when I think about this in terms of content marketing, it takes me a little bit of time to make these videos, probably 10 to 30 minutes to make the videos. There's also the time that I'm kind of thinking about what I'm going to do, what I'm going to show. I have to hit record, I have to upload it to YouTube. So there's some steps in there. It's not super long. I would say it doesn't really take me longer than an hour, but there's some steps in there that it takes me to get these videos uploaded and everything. And when you are reaching out to someone, it only takes a matter of minutes. If you have a script or a template that you're using, you can text a bunch of people in a matter of minutes. And so yeah, to get clients quickly, you want to focus on outreach. And you want to continue to focus on outreach as you go. It's not something that I would say you stop doing. If I had so many leads from YouTube that I didn't need to do outreach, that would be a great day. And I hope that day comes someday. But for now, it's kind of a mix of all those things. It's a mix of the outreach and doing the content and kind of trying to pull in as much of the audience as I can over time. And at different times, people will kind of put their hand up and say they need help. And usually, it's when they're in a lot of pain. So like with those website consultations, if someone gets really stuck and they just really don't know what to do, they're gonna call someone that they feel like they can help them. And so that's when they usually contact me, is when they're at their wits end and they're super frustrated and they've been doing everything that they know how, and then that's when they reach out. So yeah, there, it will come. So even though that process was maybe started 6 months ago, the actual hiring and working with someone might come 6 months down the road. And that's been a couple of different things for me. That's been like YouTube comments that I've responded to that have been like, hey, yeah, here's how you book a consultation. It's been phone calls. So I have a business phone number, and people have called me through, finding my website and contacting me, and that's how they get started. And then it has also been just like my website forms and lead magnets and those sort of things that are kind of driving that acquisition, client acquisition. So I am trying to work on, that's an area that I'm working on right now, is improving my process for getting people who are on YouTube into some sort of lead magnet, and then going, kind of taking it the next step. So what's that follow-up process look like? What is, how do I nurture that lead so that they can become uh, a customer? So the other thing is I want to talk about ads for a minute. So we've talked about, if you're going to do content marketing, it's probably not a quick fix. It's not something that's going to find you a bunch of leads right away. You should start doing outreach. I do think you could do both. You could do outreach at the beginning, and you could do content marketing after that, and kind of do both at the same time. And so you're getting some traction from content marketing, you're getting some clients from outreach, and you're kind of doing the short term and the long term play. So the content marketing is definitely the long term play. But the other thing is a lot of people ask about ads. Like, well, can I just advertise on YouTube and you know, or advertise on like Meta or Google Ads and get a bunch of leads right away? And the thing is, you might be able to do that, but for a lot of business owners who are just starting out, they don't have the budget for that. So they don't really have a ton of money they can just dump into ads. And unless you have like your offer dialed in, and you have, exactly what kind of service you're going to get, and how much you can spend, and you have a good ROI on that spend, a lot of business owners don't have that luxury of spending that money up front to acquire customers, or even the know-how to do it. Like, they don't even know how to set up those campaigns, manage those campaigns, run those campaigns. So I like to think of ads as a good channel for an established business, a business that's been around for a while, a business that can dedicate budget to ad spend, and maybe a percentage, 5 to 10% of their budget, of their revenue, to ad spend. They can usually capitalize on that ad spend and turn it into a good investment for them that they can bring back. They already have some recognition in the marketplace. They've been around for a long time. They're well established. They have the budget they can spend, and you need some budget in order for those campaigns to work. If you have low budgets, usually you don't get shown in all the places you could be shown, and your ads don't scale as well. So when it comes to ads, the answer is you could do it. Obviously, you could do it if you had the resources to do it, if you had the budget, if you had the funding. to do ads, then that could be a good way to do it. And you would in essence be marketing to strangers. You would be trying to convert those cold leads into customers, people who don't really know you yet. Whereas with content marketing, you're kind of building that trust over time, building the audience, warming everybody up to working with you. So just wanted to kind of get into the weeds here a little bit and break this down, because I do think that if you're going to do content marketing and if you think it's going to get you clients right away, and if you're brand new to doing it and your business is brand new and you have no clients, it's really not a quick fix. It's more of a long-term solution that is going to compound over time, and you'll be rewarded for your investment. And the other thing is if you are needing clients quickly, then you want to do outreach. So yeah, if you are joining this live stream at this point, I've been talking about content marketing, how to find clients through content marketing, and I'm trying to do more live streams. And so if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. But just to give a quick summary of what I was talking about, the quick fix to finding clients is outreach, starting with your network, friends and family. It's the fastest way, and it's something you should be doing constantly. And it's something I need to be doing better at. And most of my clients come through that channel, anyways. The second thing is doing content marketing, which is videos on YouTube, that long form content that's going to help you build trust and grow your business. And it's kind of more of a system. It's a system that you can eventually automate a bit. And so you're creating videos every week, then you have your lead magnets, and people are subscribing to your email list. And then there's kind of this lead nurture process. So that's a good way to do it. And then as your business gets more established, you can pour some fire onto that fuel with some ads, right? You can invest in ads to kind of ramp up the leads. You have more budget for that usually because you have revenue coming in. You have enough clients, enough supply and demand that you can merit that. So I think the piece that was missing for me and kind of some of the things that I've talked about is that outreach is still so important. It's important to do that. It's important to not just you know work within your existing network, but it's important to grow your network. And that's been something that's happened on YouTube here over time. Like I've been able to meet people from all over the world, and I was talking with somebody in the live I did yesterday, just kind of chatting back and forth. So it's you're expanding your network, growing your connections, but then that's usually where the business comes from, is people in your network. And that's largely due because they already know you, they trust you, and they just need to know about what you're doing. A lot of times people don't really know how I can help them or what I can do to help them. But once I let them know through like a text or a phone call or something like that, that kind of gets the process started, and I'm able to find clients that way. The other thing is at least in my line of work, the amount of time it takes for someone to decide if they want to do a website or a marketing campaign can be a couple months. So I kind of need to always be doing that. But like I said before, if you are here on the live, thank you so much for being here. And if you want to ask questions, go ahead and leave them in the chat about content marketing or anything else you want to ask me. I'll be here a few more minutes and I'll probably close this live. But something that's been on my mind a lot, because I've had a few conversations with some of my existing clients, and they were like, I have one friend who is trying to get his business off the ground. And he's like, yeah, we need to do this content thing, but I want to find a few clients before the end of the year. And so if you want to find a few clients before the end of the year, like in a matter of a few weeks, the content thing isn't going to help a ton with that, but the outreach for sure will help with that. And then if you start the content process, you might find some new clients kind of coming in throughout the duration of as you're doing the content marketing process. So yeah, thanks to everyone who came into the live. There was a few people who were on, and I'm going to try to do these more often, like I said before. But that's what I would say about finding clients. I kind of think of it in three phases. If you have, you have your outreach, then you have your content marketing, and then you have ads at some point. And see, I'm not even at the point where I would spend on ads yet. That might be something I do down the road. But yeah, still doing those two things actively. I'm still outreaching actively, and still doing the content marketing, of course. And the way that I found clients through content marketing has been, in a variety of places: projects, courses, consultations, and maybe even affiliate stuff as well. So there's lots of ways, there's lots of opportunities that come to you as you start this journey. But it's not a quick fix. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It is year in and year out commitment, and an investment, knowing that it's gonna pay off in the long term. So doesn't look like there's any questions coming through in the chat, which is totally fine. So I will go ahead and close this live. But wanted to get those thoughts out today, as it's been on my mind a bit. And if you want help with content marketing, I am doing a group coaching where I am coaching people on my process, and including all those things, including outreach, including the equipment that I use for content, and my process on how I've been doing this for the past 2 years. And the whole goal of that, the whole outcome of what I try to do, is to find clients, to grow my business. Like, that's, there's some other things that are great about it. And I actually find some other things more rewarding than that, like the people that I've been able to meet and some of those things. But it is, it grows your business over time if you do it the right way. And if you do it in a way that builds trust with people, I just think that's one of the best ways you can do marketing today. In today's world, people like to work with people they know, like, and trust. I know that's a cliche that gets repeated all the time, but they can't really know you or trust you if they don't ever see you or hear you talk or interact with you. And so that's the whole process, is starting that process now, and so that you can get, kind of rewarded for that process over time. And it is rewarding. It's really cool to be able to help people and to meet new people through this process. So that's what I have for today's video. Thanks again to those who came and watched live. I probably need to schedule these so that more people know I'm going live, so it's not just random. But this is a new thing for me, and this is me again going out into the fray and trying something new on YouTube. And it's been fun so far. The interactions I've had on the 2 lives I've had so far have been great. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.